Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible to all of you. Thank you so much to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to be here. Thank you to 63 SATS CYBERTECH, my employer, for having the confidence in me to come on this platform and to present. The panel that we had when we started of the day, they have set the context for this summit really well. I'd like to thank them. They have presented some very good ideas and the importance of various aspects in the cooperative industry. I heard all the three panelists mention that you're looking at becoming a $5 trillion economy. Now, while we are looking at becoming a $5 trillion economy by 2027-28, that is the goal that the Honorable Prime Minister has set for us as a country, the biggest hindrance that we see in this entire journey is cyber risks. The way cybercrime, the way the cyber security industry is getting impacted and the way we are trying to defend our cyber boundaries and borders, it becomes very important and it becomes the most crucial part of our entire thought process. So, we have seen multiple things happening. We are going through tough times right now as a nation, and we are seeing various things happening in the cyber world also. We saw that the defense, a lot of defense websites were hacked, or they were tried to infiltrate into the defense websites, our great neighbors. At the same point of time, we saw retaliation from our side also in the cyberspace. This was presented in the neighboring media also. That makes us all cyber warriors, and all cybersecurity practitioners over here, decision makers over here, we are all cyber warriors, and there's a warfare that we are fighting. There is nothing better than taking inference from history, learning from history, and using those learnings in the cyber warfare. Okay. We are in Mumbai, we are in Maharashtra. I'm a Maharashtrian, a proud Maharashtrian. Okay. There is no one better to guide us. There is no one better to take inspiration from and leadership from other than Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So what we are trying to do is, we will try to learn a few things from his warfare tactics and apply those learnings into cyber warfare. What I'm doing is, I'm taking the context of the battle that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had against Afzal Khan. This was in 1659 when Afzal Khan came into the Swaraj, and there was the entire campaign. Okay, so we'll try to take learnings from this particular campaign. I'll also let you know why I'm taking this particular storyline from 1659 as the context for this particular presentation. Afzal Khan was an extremely able, extremely strong, extremely cunning leader. He was one of the tallest figures in warfare at that point of time, a commander in the Adil Shahi forces. Adil Shahi was the prime enemies of the Marathas in the south of the country, and the mighty Mughals in the north, the Abyssinians, the Portuguese, the French, the British on the coastal line, and then you had the Nizam Shah of Golconda also. Okay. So that makes this entire episode extremely crucial, because we are looking at probably the strongest military commanders of that point of time having a campaign against Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now, there were various ways in which Shivaji Maharaj prepared for this particular campaign. And there are learnings from this particular campaign. The first thing is to know your enemy. That helps you prepare to respond to the threat, because you are trying to detect the threat. You're trying to gather a lot of intelligence around that particular threat, and that is how you're trying to prepare for this. So I'll like to cite two things over here. Afzal Khan was physically quite a huge person. He probably would have been around 7 feet in height. Okay. So what Shivaji Maharaj did was, while he was preparing for this entire campaign, he knew that there was a possibility of a man-to-man battle. So he identified one person from his command forces who was physically similar to Afzal Khan, and he practiced wrestling with this particular person. So that is detecting your threat, trying to get intelligence around it, and trying to ensure that you're prepared to respond to that particular threat. The second thing that I would want to cite is, a few years before 1659, this entire episode happened, probably 10-15 years before that, there's a fort called the Fort of Sira, okay, which is somewhere around the south of Karnataka. The commander-in-chief of that particular fort was Kasturi Ranga Nayaka, and Afzal Khan had seized this particular fort. He called for a peace meeting with Kasturi Ranga, And in that peace meeting, he embraced him and literally backstabbed him. So that intelligence was available with Shivaji Maharaj, and he was trying to plan his entire campaign around this intelligence also. And various other things, of course, were playing, but I wanted to cite two examples. Okay. The second thing that I would want to draw your attention to is the importance of crisis management. Now, this is my inference. It might not have played out that way, but if you look at that time, Shahaji Maharaj, who was Shivaji's father, he was in Bangalore, present-day Bangalore. He was the commander-in-chief of Bangalore as a region. He too was a commander in Adil Shah's forces, a colleague to Afzal Khan in some senses. Now, any wrong move by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj would have had a direct impact on his father's life. And he had to ensure that the two of them, father-son, had to ensure that they are rightly managing this entire crisis situation. So, my interpretation is that Shahaji would have written a lot of letters. There are letters available, but my interpretation is that these letters would have been written to do this crisis management. The letters sent to Adil Shah were basically saying that my son is not in my control, he is not listening to me, I have nothing to do with his actions and so on and so forth. So that is basically insulating him from this entire campaign and ensuring that if there's a crisis that happens, he is insulated from that particular crisis. The second example that I would want to cite is Shivaji Maharaj's wife, Saibai, who was his first wife and a very close childhood friend and a dear wife to him. She was going through illness during this entire campaign. When the campaign started, she was extremely ill. The Marathas had their capital in Rajgarh, and this entire battle was fought in Pratapgarh. So Shivaji Maharaj moved from Rajgarh to Pratapgarh. When he moved, after some time, his wife passed away. That's a huge crisis situation for the family. The loss of a spouse, the loss of a partner is extremely strong as an emotion. And the way the family went through this entire crisis situation, the way Jizau, who's Shivaji's mother, she played the role of keeping the family together to ensure that her son is able to concentrate on this campaign. I think that is also a part of crisis management. Now, what happens is when we talk about crisis management, we cannot prepare for A, B, C as crisis situations. We need to ensure that we are prepared holistically, and any kind of crisis that comes, we are able to withstand that particular crisis situation. So the second context in this entire battle is crisis management. The third thing that I would want to draw your attention to is the premise itself. This battle was fought at Pratapgarh. Now, Pratapgarh in 1659 was used by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as a command center. He was drawing his entire battle strategy from Pratapgarh. He was keeping an eye on the entire movement of Afzal Khan's troops. Also, he was keeping a close eye on what was happening in the north and the other regions also. And he ensured that the battle was fought at a place which was conducive for him to fight the battle. Pratapgarh is important because it is surrounded by dense forests, the forest of Zawli, and Afzal Khan's forces, which had a lot of elephants, cannons, camels. Okay, this entire force was of absolute no use in the plains or in the hills of Mahabaleshwar, in the hills of Pratapgarh. So that diffused the entire steam that Afzal Khan's mighty army had at that point of time. So this is the third context, which is around the command center. Okay. Now, if we draw parallels to what we are doing in the cyber industry, the first thing I spoke about understanding the threat. So we can draw parallels to threat detection and threat response. There are various concepts which are available: cyber threat intelligence, cloud security posture management, third-party risk assessment. All of these contribute towards detection of threats, early detection of threats, early response to threat, and help us in controlling the MTTD, mean time to detect and mean time to respond to threats. So that is how I look at this entire concept. The second thing that we spoke about was crisis management. Now, the concepts like threat hunting, breach response, digital forensics become extremely important to ensure that you're prepared to manage a crisis, and that is one very significant pillar that we all need to concentrate on. The third thing is about the command center. So this is where all your technologies converge together. You get inputs from various technologies that you've implemented in your environment, and you have a team that is monitoring the entire operations 24/7, which is always satark, and which is trying to ensure that if there is any flag that is raised, that flag is identified early and you are in a position to respond to that particular flag. So 24/7 operations through such a command center become important. So this is how I'm drawing parallel to this entire battle of Afzal Khan and how we are looking at cybersecurity concepts through this entire learning. What we are doing at 63 SATS is we have embraced these three pillars: threat detection, threat response, crisis management, and the entire concept of command center. We have brought it all together in one umbrella that we are calling as TMARC, Threat Intelligence Monitoring and Response Command Center. This is a framework that we have designed. We are working with some leading OEMs globally as well as from India, and we are ensuring that we are protected to manage security, or we are in a position to manage security operations for our customers across various industry segments, and help our customers in adhering to various regulatory and compliance standards while you are protecting your environment. So if you look at this particular framework, we are not just looking at security operations, which is of course there, that is a requirement. All the regulators are calling about having a security operations center. RBI is talking about it, SEBI is talking about it, various other regulators are talking about it. But what we need to do is, we need to look beyond security operations center alone. We need to see how are we prepared to face the threats of tomorrow and not just look at what are the threats of today. So that is where we are combining concepts of security operations center, AI ML driven technologies into security operations, the entire concept of MDR, manage, detect and response. And then we are topping it up with our own capabilities as a service provider with red teaming, with offensive security technologies, with our breach response, forensics capabilities, and putting this all together into the framework that we are calling as TMARC, which stands for Threat Intelligence Monitoring and Response Command Center. Okay. Now this is what we are at 63 SATS. We are a cybersecurity services provider. We work across various industry segments and we provide customized solutions to our customers along with providing customized services. These solutions work across various concepts of threat detection and response. As I said, there are concepts like threat intelligence, deep and dark web monitoring, brand protection, brand reputation, anti-ransomware assurance is a very nice solution that we have with us. At the same point of time, working on the services side with our customized services around red teaming, digital forensics, incident response, threat hunting. We've got our own command center, the TMARC center. It's there in Mumbai, probably just a kilometer and a half away from where we are right now. It's a 47-seater center. We've got 100+ skilled resources who are manning this particular center. In addition to having this command center, we also have set up a very elaborate and very technologically advanced forensics laboratory, which we are utilizing in providing digital forensics breach response services to our customers. We go to the market in three ways. We have a B2B channel, that is the 63 SAT cybersecurity force, where we help enterprises, and it could be small, medium, large, all kind of enterprises. We work with governments, PSUs under the thought process of Cyber Dome, which is protecting the environment against multiple attacks, which could be attacks against national critical infrastructure also. And we are coming up with a B2C thought process, which is a application called CYBETECH, which will sit on your phones. It will be available on Google Play Store as well as Apple App Store in probably a couple of months from now. This is to protect the cell phone of every citizen in this country, so that we don't need to worry about various concepts around application security and stuff on our cell phones. I'll talk a bit about what we are doing in this domain in the next slide also. Okay. One of the key technologies that we are also focusing on is deep fake recognition. Now this becomes interesting. Okay, I started with giving a background from history. We spoke about 1659. Let's go 100 years ahead in time. Let us talk about 1760s. This is where the Marathas fought the bloodiest battle till date for the Maratha forces, which was the Battle of Panipat. Unfortunately, the Marathas lost that particular battle. This was under the command of Sadashivrao Bhau, who was fondly called as Bhau. Now, after this entire battle, when the Marathas were back in Pune and trying to re-establish themselves, there were a lot of what we call in Marathi as toteya. Okay, Hindi mein usko behrupiya bhi bolte hai. So we had a lot of these fake people who were trying to say that they are Bhau, and it was a significantly high administrative overhead at that point of time. If you draw parallels to that, today we have the concept of deepfake, wherein someone is trying to fake the personality and trying to say that I am someone else while he is not. We have a very strong partnership with a niche technology in this particular space. One of the use cases that they have is around face swap. The way this technology works is, it correlates the voice. A, it identifies whether the voice is natural or synthetic, and B, it correlates the voice with the face. If the face changes, which is possible using superimposement, using AI or whatever it is, it shows a red alert. This is a very strong use case for web-based or video-based services. A lot of banks today are doing video KYC, and they are using video as a mechanism to talk to their customers also. Now, this is an interesting use case for these kind of scenarios, because you will be able to identify if the voice and the face are the actual person that you're talking to. I'll show a small video depicting this particular use case. The crux of the video is, if the voice and the face match, there's a green box that is provided by the technology. So you are satisfied that this is the right person that you're talking to. The moment the face changes using deepfake, it throws an alert, it gives a red box, and you can then call it out as deepfake, and you can know that you're not talking to the right person. Can we have the lights a bit dim, please? I'll just showcase the video.
Yes, so swap-based technology, it's a new version of deepfake. Basically, fraudsters use swap-based technology to inject a different face into meetings. It could be a familiar face from within an organization, but the whole idea is to pretend to be someone else in a meeting. It could be for Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, etc. And the whole idea is that fraudsters use different faces to pretend to be someone else. It could be also applied in a recruitment, a new employee for the organization who try to steal information, sensitive information about the company. Our technology, the voice-to-face matching technology, can match.
So this is how the technology does this face swap recognition. Okay. I'll throw some lights on some niche customized solutions that we work with. So we are working on this concept of application shielding. This is a technology that can sit on your phone. This is a technology that can sit on your desktops also. It ensures that the code that is used by the application cannot be reverse engineered. This is a very important thing, and this can ensure that app related attacks are reduced. Okay, because what happens is, as a user, I download something from the app, trusting the app, but then if there is some malicious content on my phone that is doing this app reverse engineering and trying to masquerade that particular app, I'm protected against that. GRC is a very important concept, governance, compliance, risk for all the customers, and it is a compliance requirement for the banking industry. So we work on AI based GRC technologies. The solution that we work with has very strong cases that will help organizations get compliant to even the DPDPA, the Data Privacy Act that has come up. Okay, so this is a very strong solution that we have. We work very strongly on this entire concept of resilience assessment. Okay, this does adversary simulations. This can align against the MITRE ATT&CK framework, do posture hardening for the environment. So these concepts are really important. I just wanted to touch base upon that. We can talk about these concepts in detail at the booth that we have, or through the day. We've got a strong team from 63 SATS over here. Yeah. We started with this concept of drawing parallels from the Battle of Afzal Khan against the cybersecurity areas. 3 concepts we spoke about: threat detection, threat response, crisis management, and command center. What I would want to do is, I would want to showcase a small video from what could have happened on the 10th of November 1659 when the mighty Afzal Khan was killed by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay. This video is not our copyright. The copyright is owned by the content creators for the video as well as the audio. We are just showcasing this over here to pass on a message of the importance of this entire thing and drawing parallels with cybersecurity. That is it. Thank you for being a pleasant audience. Thank you for giving this hearing to me. The entire 63 SATS team is available through the day. We have got a booth over here. Please do visit our booth, and we can have a conversation around your cybersecurity requirements and how we at 63 SATS can help you better the cybersecurity environment for you. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji. Thank you.